Nikolai Petrov cursed as warning lights flashed across his shuttle's control panel. The wormhole had spat him out in unknown space, and his navigation system was completely fried. "Computer, emergency landing protocols," he commanded, wrestling with the controls as the small vessel plummeted toward an emerald planet's surface. The impact jarred every bone in his body. Nikolai dragged himself from the smoking wreckage, wincing at the gash on his arm. His routine survey mission for the Terran Exploration Course had just become a survival situation. The alien landscape pulsed with life-crystalline trees that shimmered under twin suns. Strange creatures darting through violet undergrowth. After checking his oxygen levels, Nikolai gathered his emergency pack and began searching for water. The jungle thickened as he hiked, sweat soaking his uniform. A distant explosion made him freeze. Following the sound, he discovered another crashed vessel, sleek and elegant with advanced technology unlike anything he'd seen before. Nearby lay a figure in gleaming armor, teal blood pooling beneath her. She was humanoid, but unmistakably alien indigo skin, four-fingered hands, and eyes like molten silver. Her armor bore intricate symbols that pulsed with inner light when she saw him. She hissed and reached for a weapon, but pain stopped her movement. "See," Nikolai said, hands raised. "I'm not here to hurt you, human," she spat the word. "You trespass in Azorian space." "Actually, I'm lost," Nikolai replied, kneeling beside her. "That wound needs treatment." "Ice," she glared. "I am Vasha Zenturi, crown princess of the Azurian Dominion. Touch me and die." Nikolai sighed. "Look, Your Highness, we're both stranded. I have medical supplies. Let me help. Then we can go back to being enemies."
Ow.
Pain flickered across her face. "Treachery," she whispered. "My escort, ambushed, politics." Nikolai nodded. "Nasty business everywhere in the galaxy." Despite her resistance, he examined her wound-to-plasma burn that had pierced her armor. With careful movements, he applied a regenerative gel from his pack. "Why help me?" Vasha demanded, watching him warily. "Because that's what humans do," Nikolai replied. "At least the better ones." Ah. A distant howl echoed through the jungle. Vasha tensed. "Hunting beasts. My betrayers use them to track." Nikolai helped her stand. "Then we need to move." "Can you walk?" "I can fight," she corrected, grimacing through pain. "Perfect," Nikolai muttered. "I crash land on an unknown planet and rescue a stubborn alien princess with assassins on her tail." Vasha's silver eyes narrowed. "You've involved yourself in imperial matters, human. Your life is now bound to mine until this ends." "Wonderful," Nikolai replied, supporting her weight as they moved into the dense jungle. "Always wanted to be part of an interstellar political crisis." Unexpected allies, the twin suns began setting, casting eerie shadows through the crystalline trees. Nikolai supported Vasha as they moved quietly through the alien forest, hunters in pursuit.
Auntie.
"We need shelter before nightfall," Vasha whispered. "Azurian nights bring predators even my people fear." Nikolai scanned their surroundings. "Any suggestions, Princess?" She pointed to a ridge of glittering black stone. "Cave systems. Defensible." As they climbed, Nikolai noticed Vasha studying him with curious intensity. "What?" he finally asked. "Your species is considered primitive, yet you show unexpected compassion," she said. "Most races flee from Azurian royalty, even in distress." "Maybe I'm just foolish," Nikolai replied. "Or maybe humans aren't as primitive as you think." A high-pitched whine cut through the air. Vasha pulled Nikolai behind a boulder as an aircraft passed overhead. "Hunter drones," she hissed. "They track body heat." "Good thing it's getting cold then," Nikolai said, retrieving a thermal blanket from his pack. "This will mask our signatures." Vasha looked impressed despite herself. Clever. They reached the cave as darkness fell. Inside, bioluminescent fungi cast a soft blue glow across stone walls inscribed with ancient symbols. "Sacred texts," Vasha explained, tracing them reverently. "Stories of when my people first touched the stars." Nikolai watched her, realizing how young she seemed despite her authority. Why are they trying to kill you? Vasha's expression hardened. I proposed peace with neighboring systems. Traditionalists see this as weakness. Peace is never weakness, Nikolai said quietly. She studied him. Your people still war among themselves. Some do. Others recognize that survival means cooperation.
Ashes.
Silver eyes reflected the blue glow. This is why you intrigue me, human. You speak of unity while your species remains divided. Hope is our strongest trait, Nikolai said with a half-smile. Sometimes our only one. As night deepened, strange calls echoed outside. They sat close, sharing warmth beneath the thermal blanket. If we reach the ancient temple, Vasha whispered, I can activate the emergency beacon. My loyal forces will come. How far? A day's journey through the Valley of Whispers. Nikolai nodded, checking his blaster charge. Sounds delightful. Vasha's hand unexpectedly touched his. You could leave me. Save yourself. Not happening, princess. You risk your life for an alien ruler? Nikolai shrugged. I kind of like impossible odds. Shadow moved at the cave entrance. They both tensed, weapons raised. They found us, she breathed. Nikolai extinguished their small light. Then let's show them why that was a mistake. Dawn broke with a firefight. Nikolai and Vasha barely escaped the cave, ducking energy blasts as they fled deeper into the wilderness. The temple lies beyond that ridge, Vasha gasped. Her wound reopening from exertion, they crossed a river of liquid that resembled mercury, but felt like silk against their skin. It washed away their scent trail, temporarily confusing the hunters. Tell me about your world, Vasha said as they paused to rest, perhaps seeking distraction from pain. Earth. It's beautiful, troubled, resilient, Nikolai replied, reapplying medication to her wound. We've nearly destroyed it several times, but somehow it endures. Like us. Your touch is gentle for a warrior, she observed. I'm an explorer, not a soldier, he corrected. I study worlds, not conquer them. Her silver eyes widened. Yet you fight well. Survival training. Space isn't friendly. They reached the temple by midday, ancient stone structures, spiraling impossibly toward the sky. The air hummed with energy that made Nikolai's hair stand on end. The temple of ancestors, Vasha whispered reverently. No human has ever seen this place. Inside, crystal formations channeled light into intricate patterns across walls covered in luminous script. Vasha moved to a central altar, placing her hand on a glowing panel. Bloodline recognized. A voice echoed in a language that somehow Nikolai understood. Warning, hostiles approach. Seal the temple, Vasha commanded, and activate Emergency Protocol 7. Massive doors slid closed as a beacon pulse shot skyward. Now we wait, she said. My loyal forces will detect this signal, but it may take time. How much time? Nikolai asked.
Up to 2 rotations.
Perhaps 3. The temple's defenses created a barrier that kept their pursuers at bay, but also trapped them inside. That night, the temple's crystals glowed brighter, bathing them in gentle light. Vasha showed Nikolai a hidden chamber with a pool of glowing liquid. Purification waters, she explained. They heal and restore. They bathed in separate sections divided by translucent crystal. Later, they sat beneath a dome that displayed the stars in perfect clarity. That's where I'm from. Nikolai pointed to a distant pinpoint. Vasha moved closer. My people have legends about humans. They say you're dangerously unpredictable, capable of great destruction and surprising compassion. Both true, Nikolai admitted. We contain contradictions. As do I, she said softly. The warrior princess who yearns for peace, her hands touched, neither pulling away. The temple lights dimmed, responding to their emotions. In 2 days, I've trusted you more than advisors I've known lifetimes, Vasha whispered. When she leaned closer, Nikolai hesitated. Is this allowed? I mean, royalty and humans. Vasha laughed, a musical sound. I make the rules, remember? Their kiss was tentative differences in physiology, made it awkward initially. then surprisingly perfect. Betrayal and truth. By the second day, the temple's barriers began weakening. Their pursuers grew bolder, testing the perimeter. Nikolai and Vasha stood at the central altar watching holographic displays of the temple's surroundings. They're more persistent than expected. Vasha frowned, her fingers intertwined with his. Something's not right. Thunderous explosion rocked the temple. Warning lights flashed as cracks appeared in the ancient ceiling. Impossible, Vasha gasped. These walls have stood for millennia. They have heavy artillery, Nikolai observed. Military grade. Vasha's expression darkened. Only the royal guard possesses such weapons. As dust rained down, a transmission broke through the temple's communication system. A stern female face appeared regal, with the same indigo skin as Vasha, but with cold eyes. Aunt Serena, Vasha whispered in shock. Niece, the woman responded coldly. You've caused quite the inconvenience. You're behind this? Vasha's voice trembled with rage. My own blood? The throne has suffered your progressive ideas long enough, Serena replied. Azuria needs strength, not peace. Nikolai watched the exchange, pieces falling into place. Your aunt arranged the ambush. She expected you to die in the crash. Serena's gaze shifted to him. A human? How fascinating. You've always had peculiar tastes, niece. Surrender now, Vasha commanded. My loyal forces approach. Serena laughed. Your signal was intercepted. No one is coming. Another explosion shook the temple. Dust and debris fell around them. We have minutes before they breach the main chamber, Nikolai said. Checking his blaster, Vasha's face hardened with resolve. The temple has one final defense mechanism. A last resort. She led him deeper into the temple, to a hidden chamber with a glowing orb suspended in midair. Our ancestors' most powerful technology. What does it do? Nikolai asked. It can transport us instantly to any Azurian settlement in the galaxy, she said. But it requires a blood sacrifice. Without hesitation, she sliced her palm, letting teal blood drip onto the orb. It pulsed with blinding light. Destination? A voice asked. Vasha hesitated, looking at Nikolai with conflicted eyes. I can't ask you to leave your world behind. Nikolai took her wounded hand in his. My ship is destroyed. Earth is light years away. And frankly, I'm pretty invested in seeing how this royal drama ends. Tears shimmered in her silver eyes. You would stand with me against my own people? Not against your people, Nikolai corrected. With you, for your people. The temple shuddered as explosions grew closer. The royal sanctuary on Corelli's prime, Vasha commanded the orb. As light enveloped them, Serena's forces broke through. The last thing Nikolai saw was her aunt's face contorted with rage as they dissolved into particles of light. They rematerialized in a crystalline chamber overlooking a vast azure ocean. Guards immediately surrounded them, weapons raised. Stand down, Vasha commanded. Your princess has returned. An elderly Azurian stepped forward, his silver eyes widening in recognition. Princess Vasha. We received no word there has been a coup, she interrupted. Grand Regent Serena has betrayed the crown. The news spread like wildfire through the sanctuary. Within hours, loyal commanders gathered in the grand hall where Vasha recounted the betrayal. Nikolai stood quietly at her side, aware of the suspicious glances cast his way. The humans saved my life, Vasha declared, sensing their unease. He is under my protection. Later, in her private chambers, Vasha shed her formal attire, looking suddenly vulnerable. Tomorrow we fight to reclaim my throne, she said softly. Many will die. Nikolai approached her, tracing the luminous patterns on her skin. Is there another way? I could challenge Serena to ritual combat, Vasha said. One life, instead of thousands. Then that's what you'll do, Nikolai said firmly. Vasha's silver eyes searched his face. You've changed me, Nikolai. Before meeting you, I would have launched a fleet without hesitation. Before meeting you, I was just another explorer, he replied. Now I'm involved in alien politics and falling for a princess from another world. She smiled. Falling? Completely, he admitted, pulling pulling her close. Their bodies pressed together, different yet perfectly matched. This time their intimacy was unhurried, exploratory, a bridge between worlds. Morning came too soon. As Vasha prepared for the journey to the capital, Nikolai faced the reality of their situation. "After you reclaim your throne," he began, "what happens to us?" Vasha paused. "Azurian royalty traditionally marries for alliance." "I understand," Nikolai said, heart sinking. "However," she continued, taking his hands, "my first act as confirmed ruler will be to establish a new diplomatic position, human ambassador to Azuria." Hope sparked in Nikolai's chest. "And the qualifications?" "Extensive knowledge of Azurian royalty," she smiled, "and personal experience with the Queen." "Queen?" "Once I defeat Serena, yes." Nikolai pulled her into an embrace. "I accept the position. Though the personal experiences with the Queen might create a scandal." "Let them talk," Vasha whispered against his lips. "We'll show them that the strongest alliances are built on more than politics." As they boarded the royal vessel bound for the capital, Nikolai looked back at the vast alien ocean. His exploration mission had led him farther than any human had gone before, not just across stars, but into the heart of another world. Whatever challenges awaited, they would face them together, proving that some connections transcend even the boundaries between worlds.